Welcome to In This Season podcast, where we unpack the most empowering conversations, have exclusive and inspirational interviews, and host special events. Join Tammy, some call her Butterfly, and explore life's purpose by learning how to embrace each season of your life with confidence, strength, and purpose. Whether you're blooming in the spring, or shining in the summer, or embracing change in the fall, or gracefully hibernating in the winter, get ready to be inspired. Join us right here on this season of In This Season podcast with your host, the Butterfly. It's time, no matter what season it is.
Good morning, everyone. How are you doing? I'm waiting. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm talking to Brandon and coming in at the same time, making sure that we're all good this morning. And let me bring him in. Hi, B. How are you?
Hey, Mom. Good morning. How you doing, sweetie?
Good. So I thought I was doing a good thing, getting closer to my meeting room, but it wasn't the best thing. But it's too late to kind of change it. So, Brandon, you're going to have to do most of the talking this morning, all right?
Because you don't what?
I'm in a space and I'm kind of going to stay on mute. I'll talk, but I'm going to stay on mute most of the time. I don't want you guys to hear background noise. Yeah, I got closer to my meeting room so I could have more time with you, but it wasn't the best choice.
It's okay. It's okay. We will make it work, everybody.
This is us making it work. Yeah. Y'all hear noise? Do you hear a lot of noise?
No.
Okay, well, good.
I don't. I mean, I can hear like very slight in the background, but that's it. I don't hear too much. It's not too much trouble at all. No, not too much trouble at all.
Cool
but welcome, everybody. How y'all doing today? Welcome to the In This Season podcast with your host, the beautiful Butterfly, over that side, and then myself, her son, Bonehead, aka Brandon. Good to see y'all this morning. I did not. You already went through people in the chat. Who we got? Mike, Miss Brenda. How y'all doing? Good morning to y'all.
Yes.
So how are you, Mom? How are things on your side? What's going on?
I'm doing great. Man, all day meetings. Yeah, we didn't get back. Yeah, yesterday and today.
Oh wow. Well, hopefully it's over soon and you can get back home safely. It's getting cold out here.
I will. Yeah.
I'm sure it's cold
pulling out of here
in St. Louis.
It is. It's freezing here. That's my coat, y'all. It's freezing even on the inside here. So yeah, I'll be pulling out probably about 3. The meetings will end about 2, and I'll probably get out of here about 3. Just a few things I want to do here, and then I'll head on back.
Sounds good. Well, we'll take you back. I'll speak for myself. Can't wait to see you, Mama, and celebrate your accomplishments that you've received over the last couple of days.
Same here.
Y'all, I hope everything's going well for y'all. Thank you for allowing us to be part of your morning routine and kicking it with us for a little bit here. We are going through the book Daily Motivations for African American Success by Dennis Kimbro, and we are probably 310 plus days into this thing. So what a commitment, what a celebration of perseverance and patience on your part, Mom, for setting us up here every day. I just come in, I click a little button on my phone to be able to see you all, but Mom in the back office, she does a lot that isn't seen. So kudos and hats off and pats on the back and rounds of applause to you, Mom. But a little bit more about this book. I don't know if you see it, Daily Motivations for African American Success by Dennis Kimbro. My mom's showing you a nice clean version of that book right there. Please go get that book and support this Black author. This book has helped us 310 plus days. And we have not, we've purchased the book, but we have, no rights to it. We're not making any money off of it. We're just trying to spread the message, spread the inspiration, the motivations, and the affirmations, and hope that everybody takes something with it and can expand and grow from it in a really beneficial way for them, for their family, for their own success, and the success of the next generation. So thank y'all for rocking with us. A little bit more about this book, because I know y'all are going to get it, or if you already have it. Daily Motivations for African American Success will help you focus on the thoughts, attitudes, and deeds that will lead to the achievement of your true goals. In 365 short, powerful motivations, one for each day of the year, Dennis Kimbro, author of the popular Think and Grow Rich, A Black Choice, leads us to discover how to use the present moment and our own gifts to transcend labels, cultivate a positive attitude, become wise enough to know when to say yes and when to say no, and to look inward for answers to life's challenges. So each motivation begins with words of wisdom from such distinguished and celebrated African Americans as Malcolm X, Marion Wright Elderman, Whoopi Goldberg, Charlene Hunter Galt, Bill Cosby, Carl Rowan, Mother Hale, Reverend Leon Sullivan, and hundreds of others. This treasure trove of practical inspiration will give you fresh encouragement every day of the year. What it teaches you will last a lifetime. So thank y'all so much again for being here with us. I hope you got your coffee on this great Friday, as Miss Brenda says. And let's go on with this show. All good, Mom? Y'all good on your end?
I'm all good.
All right, cool.
All
Let's
good.
get it. So today is December the 6th, and our title for today is Let's Cut to the Chase. Let's cut to the chase. And Marcus Garvey, the Pan-Africanist, says, do what is required of you and remain a slave. Do more than is required and become free. Again, do what is required of you and remain a slave. Do more than is required and become free. A comedian once quipped, many of us are at the metallic age, gold in our teeth, silver in our hair, and lead in our pants. Everybody wants to live a long time, but nobody wants to get old. People who are bored or unhappy can live happy, productive lives regardless of age, if they take the trouble to find what it is that they really want. If they can settle upon a purpose, they will be filled with new vitality. It will seem as though they found the fountain of youth, a way to turn back the clock and experience a life filled with interest, excitement, and fulfillment. There is an old fable about a dog that boasted of his ability to run at breakneck speed. One day he chased a rabbit and failed to catch it. The other dogs ridiculed him on account of his previous bravado. He replied, "You must remember that the rabbit was running for his life while I was only running for my dinner." You see, the purpose is so important. I have met many people who found excitement and youth throughout their lives. I remember my interview with A.G. Gatson, the 100-year-old insurance tycoon from Birmingham, Alabama. People like Dr. Gatson never age. Their minds and interests remain as young and clear at 100 as they were at 20, because they've had a singular purpose in life. They have a high degree of empathy with others. They eat and sleep well. They work, play, and love with gusto. Men and women with settled objectives, people who know who they are and where they're going, achieve their goals. There's no stopping them. They are filled with energy, drive, and with too much desire to slow them down. Are you one of these people? You can be. And our affirmation for today is, today I will take a few moments to redefine my goals. It is better that I wear out than rust out. Again, today I will take a few moments to redefine my goals. It's better that I wear out than rust out. Over to you, Mom. What do you think about this one?
Brandon, I like this one. We were talking about this last night because in preparation of it, I did read it to try to save, just save face and save myself some time and having a little bit more knowledge about it. And we discussed the quote, "Do what is required," because someone said, I don't get that. I don't understand what that means. Do what is required of you and remain a slave, and do more than is required and become free. And I spoke about how most people will not do even what is required. And if they do, they don't do it with a sense of excellence. integrity, character. So we're in a state. Remember the state of your state of being, the ness. Add that ness to anything, right? Um, we don't only have to do what is required, but we got to go above and beyond to get to our goals, to make our goals work, to understand them. You got to get up early, right? You got to get grinding before. You got to have a plan for today that you're ready to execute. But as it relates to getting older, some people already have a mindset that, oh, at 60, I'm not going to be able to do this. I can't do this. I won't do this. Well, if that's what you're telling your mental state, you won't be. I've seen people, and it's like any other thing. You tell me your story, and I'll tell you someone who has a similar story, if not worse. But the end was different because of their mind did not grow old. They grew old in a number, right? And people will get to this point. Matter of fact, someone said, I don't want to be that old. I don't want to just be sitting around. Well, you don't have to. That's a mindset that you will be sitting around at age 100. Where I just saw that this man, 100, 100 and something, I think, was exercising like a 20-year-old. But he says, I've been doing all this all my life, right? So it's how it goes back to how you think about it, how you perceive age. Um, how do you do every day, any day, no matter your age? Maybe, yeah, you won't do some of the things. Maybe at some age, you won't want to do some of the things you used to do. It will be more enjoyable sitting around. I long for the day to be able to sit and just be a permanent babysitter, always available, no matter what time you want. Oh, yeah, I can do that. I can do that. Right. So let's cut to the chase. Most people don't do what is required of them. Most people don't know what is required of them because they don't have a set goal in mind. And if you don't know what's required. And you will not do what's required and more. You look at successful people, they have a schedule and a plan that will make you tired, right? But they're running for that plan. This, like, says he was running for his life. I was running for my dinner. They're running for their plan A, their goal. There is no plan B, right? So over to you, Brandon. That's all I have.
Thanks, Mom. I appreciate it, and I'm sure everyone else does that's listening. The part that stood out to me the most in this, outside of what Marcus Garvey said, because I'm a fan of Marcus Garvey in some ways. In some ways, I disagree with him, but in most ways, I'm a fan. But he said people, not he, but Dennis Kimbro here said people who are bored or unhappy can actually live happy, productive lives regardless of age if they take the trouble to find what it is they really want, right? Now, what's the trouble of finding what it is that you really want? The trouble, the trouble of finding what you really want is, Mom, I don't know if you were saying something. You're on mute there. Okay.
Talking to myself. I was saying settle upon your purpose. You made me think about that when they said it. I was talking to myself.
I saw them
And
lips
getting
moving.
ready
I
to
didn't
and
hear
I'm getting ready to type it out. So y'all, I do that.
nothing. But what's the trouble of finding out? Um, what's the trouble of finding out what you really want? The trouble of finding out, the troubling part of that is you have to break away from the systems that currently confine you to what you don't want, right? To go from, there's a balance between what you want to do and what you have to do, right? And you do what you have to do in order to do what you want to do, is what I've heard before. And then I've also heard you do what you want to do, and it'll make a way, for the things that you need. So I've heard two different perspectives. Now I think there's a balanced approach that you can take to this, right? I don't think you should have all of your eggs. I'm not one of the ones that thinks that you should put all the eggs in one basket to the point where um, you're not able to supply your own needs, right? But outside of those needs being met, you should be pursuing what you see as your purpose, right? So the trouble of finding out what you really want is starting to detach from some of the norms that in the systems and the customs and habits that you currently have in order to bring about a new way, a new path, a new mindset, a new mind frame, right? So what's your perspective? What's your worldview? You know, not just um, of the world, but of yourself and your where you fit in the world. I remember hearing from Paul Young, the current mayor of Memphis, and he said that his mother, I think, told him to find where the world needs you, right? Like find where you fit in the world, right? And I think this was a basis of what your skills and talents and natural born gifts are, balanced with what your wants and desires and kind of the passions, the things that drive you, right? What drives you? What's something that you could do every single day? Just list the things that you could do every day for free. And I guarantee you there's somebody making a living off of it. There's somebody that is that only makes cotton candy. There's somebody that only cooks. There's some woman who is a beautician, right? I was actually talking about a friend of mine, my friend's uh, the mother of his child. She goes to work every day as a beautician and as a hairdresser. And she said, you know, I wonder, hey, okay, you live in a $2 million house, right? I was over there a couple of days ago. I was like, you live in a $2 million house. You know, what would be the point, you know, as a wife with a small child to still be working at a beauty salon? And she's like, I love it. I absolutely love it. I get to be a little girl, that little girl who just loved to play with dolls in their hair and to dress them up and to play makeup as a teenager. She's like, now I get to do that every single day. I get to do that with people and build relationships and put makeup on them and do their hair, and it's fun to her. So she would do this if she wasn't getting paid. So the fact that she is getting paid um, to do this, even though she's married to someone who, you know, is pretty well off, you know, she still has her own drive and her own passion, right? So that's what drives her. And so she would do it for free. And so even though she doesn't need it, she wants it. And that's what makes her so good that people call her, right? You sometimes it you would think it's the person that really is just like struggling that needs it. But sometimes you see passion in places beyond what money can really buy, right? So who's the barber who's the millionaire that's the barber, right? Who just loves to cut your hair? Who's the trash man, as my mother has spoken of, you know, before, that some sisters might pass up thinking that, oh, well, he's a trash man. Like he's only gonna his the availability as far as the dating market can only be limited to a certain subset, but that man might be the owner of that business, right? My great grandfather was a trash man, right? And he was one of the most respected men in the community, from my understanding, right? He had multiple businesses, a store, a trash route, and things like that. And I remember the story, Mom, of you being dropped off to school in the garbage pickup truck or the garbage truck, right?
Right.
I remember you telling me that
And
story.
being
And
picked
what,
on
yeah,
about it. So
but
even
what
the
kind of
mindset
pride?
as young people,
But the pride that you had, like, I don't care. At least my granddaddy's bringing me to school.
and
You
I
know,
got it, you
and
know,
I
that
got a
will.
granddad. Right, right. So you have a granddad that's wealth. He owns his own businesses, doesn't work for anyone. No one's pulling on his collar to make him do anything or make him say anything. And there are a lot of us that have been bought out by what I think is the system, like where people are afraid to say what they really think, afraid to do what they really want to do, afraid to buck the trend, afraid to stand up and stick up for themselves and others because they are so beholden to the dollar, so beholden to a dependent, to being dependent upon this larger system, right? Is there a way that we can become more independent within ourselves and our own communities and our own families, leaning on each other to serve our purpose and to drive towards our passions? Because I really believe that the people in a household can all come together and make something happen, make a serious change and change all their lives for generations. We give so much time to other businesses, to other entrepreneurs working for their businesses, and allowing them to take the chances with our livelihood, because they're the ones taking the risks, right? We're depending on them. They could make a wrong decision tomorrow and have to fire everyone, right? But you would rather take a risk with them as opposed to taking that same risk with on yourself, making that same bet on yourself or someone that you know has the capability, the business acumen, or what have you, to be successful. So let's join forces. Let's redefine our goals, because it's better to wear out, right, than it is to rust out. And if you don't use it, you will lose it. If you don't walk, your legs will become feeble. If you do not push some type of weight, your muscles will deplete as you get older. So the resistance, what you might see is uncomfortable, or the quote unquote trouble of figuring out what you really want, that trouble is that resistance. By lifting the weights, you become stronger. So fight through that resistance of what's expected of you, of what's normal, right? What's the standard, and go above and beyond. Don't just be someone that touches the bar. You set the bar, right? You set the standard. You make a new standard to progress not only your life, but the life of the people coming after you, and the greater story of humanity, and not just African Americans, but all of humanity. So let's live inspired lives, right? Let's live inspired lives, until the day we meet our maker. But it's better to wear out than to rust out. And that's all I got.
All right, Brandon, and I will leave talking about my grandfather, you guys, and that's, I believe, so I'm so clear about this, that this is why I've always had an entrepreneur spirit. Like, I'm always doing something on the side in addition to, and I always keep a job so that I can feed my entrepreneur spirit. So, and I believe I got that from my grandfather, just seeing him do all the things he did in a time that he did it in. The things that he accomplished in that age and in that time was not heard of, not spoken of. Owned the store, started a garbage route, owned 2 houses, took care of his family, took care of my grandmother, me, the family. So I will say this, as the book says, you can be filled with energy, drive, and with so much desire that you don't slow down. Slowing down is not a choice. You are living to die, not dying to live. And I'll end with that. You can be.
Awesome.
All right.
Awesome. Well, thank y'all so much. Y'all go out and be great today. Go out and redefine your goals and set a higher standard for yourself. Buck the trend and go through the trouble of figuring out what you truly want and desire. So we're gonna get up out of here, guys. Again, please go get that book by Dennis Kimbro. Not Think and Grow Rich, excuse me. Daily Motivations for African American Success. I'm gonna get Think and Grow Rich too, though, because I'm interested in reading that. But our title today, to close us out, is Let's Cut to the Chase. And Marcus Garvey, the Pan-Africanist, gives us our quote, who said, "Do what is required of you and remain a slave. Do more than is required and become free." And our affirmation for the day that I want you guys to carry with you and think about and kind of, wrestle with today is, today I will take a few moments, some time out. I will take a few moments to redefine my goals. It's better that I wear out than rust out. So don't get rusty, y'all. Keep moving, keep pursuing your goals, keep a fire lit from up under you that drives you and fuels you forward toward your success. Love you very much, y'all. And we will be here. Oh, make sure you go and like and subscribe to the channel. And we'll be here tomorrow, same time, same place. Mom, you be safe out there, and I look forward to seeing you back here after a safe return. All right? Take care, y'all. Peace.
Thanks, everyone. We didn't read all of the comments, but you guys know that we see you, we thank you, we love you. Come back and share this time with us again tomorrow. Let's cut through the chase, or to the chase, and go be great. Peace.